KTM Handlebar Riser Instructions by Enduro Engineering. Each KTM bar riser kit includes two 5mm spacers, two of the 10 by 40mm bolts, two of the 10mm riser kits, two of the 10 by 50mm bolts, two of the 15mm risers, and then two 10 by 60mm bolts. Also included is one 7mm wrench. The first step to installing the handlebar risers will be to use a 10mm wrench and remove the top four handlebar clamp bolts. Once the top clamps have been removed, pull the handlebars out of the clamp and lay them back towards the gas tank so they're out of the way. Next, you will need to find either an 8mm Allen head wrench or a Torx bit wrench, depending on the year of your bike, and remove the single bolt that holds each clamp onto the triple clamp. Once the clamps have been removed, it's time to determine what positioning of the handlebar clamps you're going to use when reinstalling the handlebar clamps with the bar risers. KTM offers 4 different positions in their handlebar mounting. The clamp itself has 2 positions because of the offset in the clamp. And the triple clamp also has 2 positions. Take a moment to view the following information to determine the bolt length needed for the bar riser thickness that you're going to use when raising the handlebars. Also notice the bolt length will vary between billet and cast triple clamps. Before reinstalling the handlebar clamp with riser, be sure that the threads are cleaned. Also apply a small amount of Loctite on the bolt when installing the handlebar clamp and riser. Also be sure that when you put the bar risers onto the triple clamp, that the locating dowel is pointed downward into the slot where you're not installing the bolt. Once the risers and handlebar mounts are in position, be sure to torque the bolts down to the factory KTM specs. Once the handlebar clamps and bar risers are torqued down, you can now put the handlebars back into the saddle of the clamp and begin installing the top handlebar clamps and 4 bolts. Do not completely tighten the 4 bolts at this time, as you will need to adjust the handlebars, make sure they're centered, and also make sure they're at the correct angle of your preferred riding position. Once you have the handlebars in the correct position, torque down each bolt. Be sure that the gap in the front and the back of the clamp is the same, and your installation is complete.